What? You sold your home for $50,000 above list price? How can that even be possible? Well, right now, believe it or not, it's happening. Hi everyone, I'm Kimmy Rolph. So if you saw my previous video, you found out one strategy to make sure you actually get to keep the amount of the money that you get into contract for. There are a few more things to consider when selling your house for significantly more than it's possibly worth, or considerably more than the neighbors have recently sold for. The first was to see if the buyer would be willing to remove the appraisal contingency altogether. However, many buyers aren't willing to do this, so another alternative is, if they aren't willing to remove the appraisal contingency altogether, is to see if any of the buyers are willing to give you a specified amount that they are willing to pay above appraised value. Obviously not to exceed the agreed upon purchase price. Well, how can this be helpful, or why would it matter? You see, if someone really wants your home, they may be willing to pay any amount for it. But as we have learned before, the bank is only going to loan for what it appraises for. If the buyer removes the appraisal contingency altogether, it's sort of like writing a blank check. They can't be certain as to what the home will appraise for, so they have no idea what the difference is and how big of a check they may have to write. So many buyers are afraid to do this. So another option is to have them agree upon a specified amount that they agree to pay over the appraised value if the home does not appraise. Here's an example. Let's just say that you agree on a sales price of $900,000, and as a seller, based upon the advice of your agent, you know that the home will most likely not appraise for that amount. The first option would be to counter out the appraisal contingency. The second option, how much would they be willing to pay over the appraised value? So let's just say the buyer says they are willing to pay $15,000 over the appraised value. If the home's only appraises for $880,000, that means that you would be willing to pay $895,000 over what the home is appraised for. But that would mean the seller would get a $5,000 less than what was originally agreed upon in the initial contract. Again, there is so much to consider when selling your home. It's not always just cut and dry as it may seem. So what is the answer? How do you protect yourself? Call a professional. Call us here anytime. We've helped and protected Delaware County, Montgomery County, and Chester County residents just like you, and we'd love to help you too. So give us a call or click below for more information. And as always, Kimmy Rolph sells the main line and local areas.